Being cheated on is without a doubt one of the most devastating human experiences. If you've ever been cheated on by somebody you care about, you know that it can mess you up for years and really make it hard for you to trust anyone else in the future. And even if you haven't, sometimes the prospect of being cheated on by somebody is so terrifying that you try to prevent it from happening to you in your current relationship or in future ones. But I'm here to tell you in my own experience that a lot of times people in these situations actually end up pushing the people they care about away and self-sabotage their relationships, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm Nick Notas, and today I want to teach you how to stop letting the worry of being cheated on control you and how to best prevent that from happening in the future. As I said earlier, I am all too familiar with this experience. In fact, I used to be really insecure and jealous and even a little controlling in my old relationships. And it ended up leading to a great relationship ending and that person wanting to walk away from me. This is over a decade now, but I would stress out at that time when my girlfriend, wanted to go out and do her own hobbies or hang out with her friends, or especially when she wanted to hang out with her male friends. And in response, I would try to prevent that from happening and get her to spend more time with me or guilt trip her for going out. And even on rare occasions, I would check her phone or email, which is just horrifying to me now to even think about. I thought I was doing my best to remove the opportunities for her to cheat. What I was actually doing was removing any trust that we had built together, because she couldn't trust that I wanted the best for her or that I wouldn't invade her privacy, and that really caused a lot of tension and made things so much worse. So the first thing you need to realize is that you can't control someone from cheating. You think you can, but I promise you, no matter what you do, there are so many avenues if somebody really wanted to cheat on you that they can take. We have social media, we have all sorts of text apps, they have work, they have random friends that they will meet up when you're not around at work, or whatever it is. In fact, human nature is that when we feel controlled, we want to break free from that control. We want to escape the cages, we want to break free from the chains. And in my opinion, when you try to control your partner, they're much more likely to want to test those boundaries and eventually escape the prison you're putting them in. And by far, the biggest time I see people try to control their partners is with their social life and the friends they have. It was definitely that way for me, where if my girlfriend was going out with her friends, especially to a social gathering, or if other guys were there, that would just horrify me, and I couldn't even stand the thought of it. But we all need our independent lives and friendships. And if you strip that away from somebody, they're always going to feel like something is missing, and they're going to want to eventually explore that and have those needs met. So the only real option that you have to best prevent somebody from cheating on you is to give them that trust and space for them to explore their own lives, and that hopefully will encourage them to trust and respect you more because they feel like they have a real partnership. They're not missing anything else. They're not going outside the relationship to seek that because they have everything they want with their partner and everything that they need in their own independent lives. So when your partner wants to go out and start living their life and meet up with friends, encourage that. Genuinely, be happy for them, encourage their independence, have your own independent time. Just sit down with them at some point and talk about these two things. One is not to openly flirt with other people unless you guys agree upon some level of that or you guys are into that. But then you probably wouldn't be watching this video. It seems stupid. Yeah, of course, don't flirt with other people. But a lot of times people don't even realize when they are potentially flirting with others or others are interpreting that way. And I see this cause so many problems where, for example, I had a guy friend whose girlfriend was very warm and open, but she would playfully joke with other guys, she would rub their arms, she would call them handsome and cutie, and even in her mind, although it just felt pretty innocent, a lot of other guys took it as something serious and would then try to pursue something more. And you two should talk about what's reasonable. Like if your partner's going out to a nightlife gathering and you don't want them dancing with a member of the opposite sex, you should be able to talk about that. And you should say, hey, listen, I'm great with you going out and dancing to music and dancing with your friends, but I just generally don't like it if you're going out and dancing with other guys, because even if it is just dancing to you, other men don't see it that way. So maybe when you've been hanging out with people together, you realize that your partner is really extra playful with somebody and they're teasing their friends and they're getting a little physical, or maybe they're really overly complimentary of somebody. Then you need to get ahead of that and say, hey, listen, I know that maybe you mean this in jest, but it does make me kind of uncomfortable. And I also think a lot of other people interpret it as you making a move or showing interest on them. And I just like to kind of talk about where the boundaries are so that we're both really comfortable. And the second rule you both need to agree upon is that if either of you are in social spaces and somebody starts hitting on you or flirting with you, then you need to set strong boundaries and you need to let them know that you're not interested or available. Because I've seen it happen too often where maybe a woman has a boyfriend and he has a female coworker who's always showing them interest whenever they go out to lunch together. And she's flirting with them and like touching them on the shoulder. And the guy doesn't ever set his boundaries. And while it may seem insignificant to you and you don't want to like be weird and turn that person down, you're not giving your partner the security that you will protect the relationship and not indulge in those kind of behaviors. Because then your partner is always in that limbo where they're like, do they secretly like that attention? Do they not respect me? Will they eventually indulge that? And it's your responsibility to help show that dedication and loyalty to the person you're with. And sometimes, even when you set boundaries with that person showing you interest, they keep trying, they keep showing you that they're into you, and they keep trying to push things forward. You need to set your boundaries a few more times, and if they're still not listening, then you need to move on from that connection and maybe only explore it again if they can actually be a true friend. Now, what if you do all those things where you give your partner space and you guys talk about healthy boundaries and you still end up having somebody who cheats on you? Well, in those cases, as much as it hurts, it's eventually a blessing in disguise, because then it helps you realize that maybe you're not with the right person or they're not at a point in their life where they can actually give themselves to a healthy, committed relationship. And then you can focus on finding somebody who you can trust and can give you that secure relationship that you want. So remember, as scary as it sounds, the best way to overcome your worries of being cheated on and actually make it less likely to happen is to give your partner their freedom and independence. Trust begets trust. Before you go to that next video, just give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe. It means so much to us.